All right, let's do a quick little test and see if I can't get this new screen recorder to work. We're going to do lesson 10, adding and subtracting real numbers. And I want to make sure I can use the pen here. See if this is going to work or not. All right, looks like it's going to work. Awesome. All right, so lesson 10 is adding and subtracting real numbers. Answers to the warm-up. Number 1, vocabulary. Any real number that cannot be written as a quotient of integers is called what? First of all, what is a quotient? Well, a quotient is the result of division, right? So if I perform division on integers, right, a quotient of integers, that would be like 1 over 2, or 1/2, right? What type of a number is 1/2? Well, 1/2 is a rational number. So you could argue that all rational numbers can be written as a quotient of integers. All rational numbers can be written as a quotient of integers. So that means the only numbers that would not be written as a quotient of integers are called irrational. And it says to, well, I'm going to stop here just because I want to make sure this recording is working. All right, seems like it's working pretty good, so I'm going to continue with the lesson and finish the warm-up with you guys. So going back to here, got the pen. All right, good. All right, so simplify 25 divided by 5 in parentheses minus 30 divided by 10 in parentheses, right? We're going to do the parentheses first. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Right, there I have 30 divided by 10, which is 3. Right? So now I have 5 minus 3 equals 2. Okay? Here I have a negative plus a negative plus a negative, right? So all of these numbers have a negative sign, and I'm adding them together. So my sign for my answer is going to be negative, and I'm going to combine or add all of them together. Negative 4 plus negative 9 plus negative 6. So 4 plus 9 is 13. 13 plus 6 is 19, so I have negative 19. Number 4, I have 2.45 in plus 5.75 in parentheses right here, and I have 4.85 minus 3.75 in parentheses. So I do those parentheses first. So 2.45 plus 5.75 is 10, 11, 12, 8. So 8.2 for that first number right here. And then I have 4.85 minus 3.75. 0, 1, 1, positive number, 1.1. So then I have 8.2 minus 1.1. 1.1. All right, number 5, I'm multiplying 3 things together. All right, remember when we multiply variables, we're going to use the product property of exponents, right? So I'm only going to combine the exponents that have the same base, right? So here I have j to the 4th, and I have j squared, and I don't have any j's in this next one that I'm multiplying, right? So I'm going to take j to the 4th times j squared, and that's going to be j to the 6th, right? J to the 4 plus 2. And then I have k to the 5th, k to the 1st, right? And then k to the 3rd, right? So 5 plus 1 plus 3 is, 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9, so then I have k to the 9th, right? And then looking here at my coefficients, right? I'm going to multiply my coefficients. I have 1, 4, and 3. I'm going to multiply all those. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So my coefficient in the front is going to be 12. So multiply all the numbers together. Multiply the variables by adding their exponents, right? This would be 12 k to the 6 k. All right. So lesson 10 is really just an expansion on all of the lessons that we've been doing up to this point. Adding and subtracting real numbers. We had a whole separate lesson on adding real numbers. We had a whole separate lesson on subtracting real numbers. This lesson just combines the two. All right. And the biggest thing that we're doing here is making sure that whenever you see subtraction, we're just going to be adding the opposite, right? We're going to be adding, not the opposite, but adding a negative number, right? So if I see minus 7, I'm going to say plus negative 7, right? And whenever I have addition and subtraction, you'll find that we can do something special here, and I'm going to show you what it is. All right, so given this problem right here, 8 plus negative 5 minus 7 plus negative 4 minus negative 6. All right. First of all, I want to create this as an addition problem, so I want to find all of my positive numbers and all of my negative numbers, right? So this is 8 plus negative 5, that's fine. Then I have minus 7, right? So I want to change this minus 7 to plus negative 7. Then I have plus minus 4. And notice I have minus negative 6. Well, remember, whenever I have two negative signs next to each other, I'm just going to make them positive, right? So that's just going to be plus 6, right? I'm going to write down the rest of my addition problem here. Okay. So now I've created an addition problem. And what I'm going to do, here's the special trick. Instead of adding from left to right like you would normally do for order of operations, the trick you can do when you have an addition problem like this is you can take all of your positive numbers, right? In this case, I have positive 8, I have positive 6, right? And then I can take all of my negative numbers. In this case, I have negative 5, negative 7, and negative 4. Right? And I can combine them separately and do one final subtraction, right? We're going to take the bigger value and we're going to subtract the smaller value and keep the sign of the bigger value, right? So I'm going to combine my positive numbers and I'm going to combine my negative numbers, and then I'm going to see what they look like and I'm going to subtract them at the end. So 8 plus 6 becomes 14. Negative 5, negative 7, negative 4, well, my answer is going to be negative because they're all negative signs, right? And then I'm going to combine them all. I'm going to add them up. 5 plus 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. Right? So now I have negative 16 and I have positive 14. I'm going to do one final subtraction between these two numbers, right? Notice I'm just adding negative 16. Negative 16 and 14, 16 is the bigger value, so my answer is going to be negative. And then I'm going to do 16 minus 14, which is 12. So that would be my answer. So whenever you have a problem like this, create the addition problem, find out all your positive and negative numbers, add up all your positive numbers, add up all your negative numbers, and then do one final subtraction. Makes it pretty easy if you can see that, right? The other thing you can do, keep yourself out of trouble, is you can just add and subtract from left to right. You'll get the same answer, right? 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. Oh, negative 2. Yeah. So negative 16, that's actually not negative 12, it's negative 2. So I just checked my work, right? And this is negative 2. All right. caught my own mistake by checking my work and adding and subtracting from left to right. -2 was the answer. All right, next slide. All right, here's the problem, but it's fractions, right? Adding and subtracting fractions, remember they have to have a common denominator. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to find all of the positive fractions, we're going to find all of the negative fractions, and then we're going to combine them and do one final subtraction at the end. Right? So here I have -1/5. I have -2/5. This is just like saying plus -2/5, right? This is subtraction, so plus -2/5. And here I have plus 4/5, right? So my two negative numbers are -1/5 and -2/5. And my two positive numbers here are 3/5 and 4/5, right? So now I'm going to combine my positive numbers, combine my negative numbers, and do one final subtraction at the end. Here I have 7/5 for my 3 plus 4, right? And then my negative numbers combined, 1 plus 2 is 3, so I have -3/5, right? So now I have -3/5 plus 7/5. Well, 7/5 is the bigger number, right? 7 is bigger than 3, so my answer is going to be positive. And then I have 7 minus 3 is 4. All right. Here's a final comparison problem. Remember, you have to do the left side first, then the right side. Notice we have fractions and we have decimals that we're combining, right? Find all of the positive and negative values. All right, so here's my negative. I have -5/8. I have plus -1/8, right? So I have two negative numbers here. Over here I have -2.75. Here's a plus. And here's a -3.7. So plus -3.7. So make sure you have your addition problems and you're combining all of your negative numbers and all of your positives. So here I have -5/8 and -1/8 that I'm combining, and I have a positive 3/8. 3/8 is just by itself. -5 and -1, that's 5 plus 1 is 6. So I have -6/8 and a positive 3/8. 6 is bigger than 3, so my answer is going to be negative. 6 minus 3 is 3/8. Over here, combining, looks like I have one positive number, 6.25, and then I have two negative numbers, -2.75 and -3.7. Right? So -2.75 plus -3.75, and then I also have this 6.25 that's positive. Right? So I'm going to combine 3.75 and 2.75. Add them together, and my answer is going to be negative because both of those are negative. 10, 14, 15, 5, 6.5. Right. So I have -6.5 plus positive 6.25. 6.5 is the bigger number, it's negative, so my answer is going to be negative. And I have 6.5 minus 6.25. It's going to be 0.25, right? It's 50 minus 25 is 25. Questions there? Oh, which one's bigger? So this is -25/100, or how would I write that as a fraction so I can compare fractions? Or I could write -3/8 as a decimal if I wanted to, right? I'm going to change this to a fraction and see what 25/100 would be 1/4, right? So -1/4. And how many fourths, or how many eighths is 1/4? -2/8, right? So which number is bigger?